Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Blind. Guardian. The investigation continues. Finding Ola. Top priority, for sure. Ern is on the verge of a breakthrough. Given how poorly this man has covered his tracks, I'm inclined to believe he'll come to the Crozier sooner rather than later to procure the usual assortment of goods. Let us head there, Arctic. We must follow the trail while it's still fresh. To the Crozier. Oh. Running. Sure. Spot. Run a little bit more. It's at the edge here. Near this situation. Just gonna keep them over there for a little bit longer here. Sneaking in the corners. Yes. I'm gonna watch Paradin watch for this merchant. If he comes this way to purchase food and medicines from Enix, as frequently as his note indicate, we shouldn't have long. I think over there, that scar, those robes. That's our man. Oh, there you go. Pleasure to see you again, sir. The usual. Aye, and don't forget the you-know-what. Hurry, Arctic. We mustn't let him get out of our sight. Alright. I'm just gonna stand here for a little bit then. Down in Foundation. Stuff right there. Completely lost track of him. Hopefully Meridian did better. It's looking off towards the room here a bit. Our suspect just passed through the Ark of the Worthy. Alright, this one then. Where there are like to be fewer people. Take care not to be spotted. Of course, the Central Highlands. Just outside. Take this then. It's not even technically connected on the map here. Wild. How do I go through this gate? Antoine. Service. No. Gatekeeper. You were behind the map. Cross the steps, sir? Yep. Corthus, Central Highlands. Corthus, Central Flylands. Yeah. Okay. Over here. Don't mind me. Just being incredibly inconspicuous here. Flying a dragon around Ishgard. Reasonable plans. It appears our suspect is not alone. He has a guard with him. That's fine. I should very much like to know the contents of that carriage. Get them distracted while I sneak past, will you? Approach them and announce you are here to conduct a surprise inspection. You'll undoubtedly command their full attention for a sufficient amount of time. You ready, Arctic? Very good. Hey. We're gonna walk over here instead. Okay. The shamans say, if you ever started to enter any phrase near the word inspection, the merchant and his guard's attention. Inspection. I got enough? Stay at the destination first. I did. See. Jump out didn't say. I did. Accident first. Check exactly what they want. There you go. Inspection? What the seven hells are you on about? You're no Temple Knight. You have no right, unless... I trust the goods have been properly secured. Carriage is ready for a quick getaway if necessary. Mm-hmm. Right then. Where were we? Ah, yes. I will not be consenting to your inspection. Now kindly piss off. Yeah, but what are you doing? My apologies, sir. I thought I saw movement around back. Maybe I should go and check. Idiot. Can't you see this goon is intent on starting a fight? Take care of him first, then conduct your checks after. As for you, you should have run while you still had the chance. There he goes. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Caravan guard and caravan merchant. Like to battle. They've made poor choices. That's all I'm saying. Map. So. Interrupt. They're taking some damage here. This guy just standing here, so. There you go. They've been subdued. We'll say. That's just Ola right there. Arctic. It was, as we suspected. The Thuggin's guard had been holding Ola hostage in the back of this carriage ever since she vanished. Though this ordeal has undoubtedly caused her a great deal of distress, she does not appear to be physically injured. While you are doubtless eager to question her, as I am, she must be given time to rest and recuperate. These two, on the other hand, need not be afforded any such consideration. You there, what's the meaning of this? Ah, it seems all that earlier commotion has drawn the attention of the guards. Excellent. They can deal with the ruffians. Yeah. Explain, explain, explain. There you go. We do kind of want to question them, but sure, it's fine. I shall escort Ola to the Scholastic Dormitory and speak with the instructors. When all has been settled, let's speak again at St. Ron's Cathedral. Yeah. And everything's sorted. Well, there you go. That is good. Good call. See who hired them for all that. Sprinting in. Briardy in. You should be glad to hear that all will be fine. Sister Yatel is with her now, tending to her needs as we speak. Rest complete. I expect she will soon be strong enough to answer our questions. Till then, however, we must make do with what information the Temple Knights can extract from the kidnappers. Unfortunately, while the ruffians confessed to abducting Ola in exchange for a large sum of gil, they've told us little else of value thus far. Apparently their employer draped themselves in such thick furs that they could not even say if they were a man or woman. They claim this cloaked figure offered no explanation as to why they wanted them to snatch the girl and keep her confined to the carriage indefinitely, and so they had no choice but to keep moving to stay ahead of the Temple Knights and await further instructions. Hopefully, we will learn more as the interrogations progress. I fear, however, our masterminds cloak themselves in layer upon layer of secrecy. It will take more than a few pointed questions to penetrate all of them. But regardless of how well they have hidden their intentions and their identity, we'll bring them to justice soon enough. And once we learn all that we can from our friends in the Temple Knight's custody, as well as Ola, we're that much closer to restoring peace to this Glisticate. It's Secret Shadow Guy. Could be anybody. They're hidden behind furs, they're hidden in shadows. Very hidden. To shine the light of truth upon the secrets buried in the dark, shall once more come together, that they may know her power and her glory. Oh, calm. Back to school. 2. Continuing this. Where meets her eye. Finding Ola. School continues to be in session. The student body's revenge. Arden's eyes smolder with determination. Arctic. I was wondering when you'd show up. The Temple Knights have deemed Ola fit to recount the events of her kidnapping, and have taken her into the room just beyond for questioning, with Lays to accompany for support. It appears the questioning is done. Let's see what we might learn. Alright. Hail, my good man. I'm Inspector Briardian. This is my associate, Artek. I understand that you have spoken with Ola regarding her kidnapping. Is there aught you might share with us? Inspector Briardian, Master Artek. I fear that it would seem that Lady Ola knows even less of her own abduction than we do. As she tells it, the only people she saw during her captivity were the 2 thugs now in our custody. Questioned them thrice over, but they insist their employer had disguised themselves so well they cannot even say for certain if they are a man or a woman, much less give us a description. For what little it's worth, we did learn that the 2 were once orphans raised as charges of the sea. To betray the nation that fed and clothed them for a handful of coin. But I must return to my post. Should we come across anything of actual significance, I shall be sure to alert you. Ladies, are there any details our friend may have neglected to mention? I fear that Ola's testimony proved entirely unenlightening. There's another development, however, that has been troubling me. Rumors that Archiman was behind the abduction are circulating around this Glisticate once more. Again with those allegations. They got no proof. And this time the students seem convinced more than ever of his guilt. No longer content to sit back and wait for events to take their course, they've been pushing for his expulsion. Theo has been doing his best to convince them to disregard the rumors, but it seems any mention of Arkamben only serves to fuel their rage. Let's hurry back and help him. I suspect that this is less a reflection on the prefect himself than a manifestation of aimless anxiety and fear. Still, I dare say this commotion might prove to be an opportunity in disguise. I shall make my way to the vault to continue my own investigations. In the meantime, I should go and keep an eye on the Seminarians and an ear to the ground. Alright. Let's see. Could be a setup. Entirely possible. We can press on this. Let's see. Yeah. Argue, 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 argue. And what if those ruffians truly were in his employ? Would we stand idly by until he betrays one of us as he did poor Ola? His refusal to provide us with anything resembling a reasonable explanation speaks for itself. The boy is guilty, and I say we move to have him expelled from the Scholasticate, effective immediately. Innocent, I demand that you take lead of this charge. Thank the fury you've come, Arctic. Since the headmistress called everyone away for an emergency meeting, it's been absolute chaos. They're so incensed, they won't listen to a word Theo or I say. Perhaps if you were to speak with them, it would help to soothe their angry feelings. Angry. Oh boy. Everybody's here. Stern. Enough of this. Enough is enough. I refuse to tolerate his presence within these halls for even one more day. Hey. Soothe. Soothe. On second thought, I dare say you have the right of it. The prefect has the riches of House Zamla at his disposal. Powerful allies just waiting to spring to his aid. Let's step back and consider our actions carefully, lest we find ourselves strung up by the necks. So you suggest we do nothing? The longer we dither without taking action, the greater the risk of him finding out is. When he does, he'll see every last one of us suffer for it, mark my words. He is frightened, as are we all. That's precisely why we must proceed with caution. As rightly observed, if we act out our anger or despair, we only doom ourselves to failure. Sir, if you would, rally his spirits, as you have calmed mine down. Mine down, I know. With his wealth and influence, who knows what he could do to us all? Rally. You can fight all the power. Fight the power. But of course, exactly as you say. Forgive me. My fear had gotten the better of me. Indeed, there is little he can do to us if we act as one and proceed with due caution. And remember, once Akban is removed from the school, the administration will keep us safe, so we need not fear his retribution ever again. We'll move swiftly but surely to ensure his expulsion. Vincent, can we count on you to lead us? Ah, boy. Thank you, Arctic. Now that everyone is feeling more at ease, let's open the floor for discussion. Welcome any all opinions, provided they are delivered in a calm and orderly fashion. I believe that there is just cause to expel our combatant. As Arctic was kind enough to point out, however, we should not act brashly. That is why you, Vincent, with your calm demeanor, are best suited to head our appeal to have him removed. What say you? Given the way he's treated you in the past, I can understand why he'd readily assume the worst of him. I cannot help but believe, however, that he too is a victim in all this. I strain to think that anyone who cares so deeply about the Scholasticate and its inhabitants could commit such an atrocity. Theo, for fury's sake. You would defend the very individual who, for the past several years, ridiculed and tortured us. Is it so impossible for you to believe that he is capable of such villainy? Until there is proof to say he is guilty, we must give him the benefit of the doubt. Theo's right, Lay. I bear no great love for Akban either, but even the Temple Knights have been unable to uncover a single piece of evidence tying him to the kidnapping. The same knights who have pulled the wool over our eyes for 1,000 years, stripping us all we own to protect men like him. How heartening that is to hear. I would have thought that after all you'd endure at Akban's hands, you'd stand with us. I see I was wrong. Friends, we've seen the commoner has grown too content under the nobleman's yoke to fight for his ideals. If we are to see justice served, we must do it with our own strength and our voices. Let's draft a petition that our grievances might be heard and the Blackguard expelled. Strongly worded letter. How can they be so blind? Then who could have... Oh, is playing us all for fools, stoking the flames of hatred. They might be consumed by them. Quest complete. Alright. But then the question is, who would have such a motive? The Whipping Boy looks down and sighs in defeat. Ah, boy. If only could have done more to dissuade them. This blind persecution will only serve to further divide us. Accusations' expulsion would be a tremendous loss for the Scholasticate. I hope no one listened to reason. Theo, there's still time to turn things around. I'm sure of it. I'll help you in any way I can. Thanks. Thank you, Blaze, for your kind words. Indeed, it's not too late to reverse the course of today's events. I should try speaking with Father Saturnus. Surely he'll know what to do. Incredible. Despite all that, he's still intent on saving Armben. I take there's no talking him out of it now. Consider how our last discussion ended. It would put me much at ease if you would accompany us. Should be staying behind. A few things I would attend to here. My dear Blaze, if you would, I could do with the extra pair of hands. Oh. In that case, Lay, Arctic, let us make our haste to the cathedral. Headmistress's meeting will not run forever. We must catch Father Saturnus before the others do. Alright. Oh, what a mess. What a continuing mess. There's not have any ongoing kidnappings going, so that's something at least. Vincent, Lay, and Arctic, what brings you here in such a hurry? I may have a concerns petition I just received from the student body. Not to worry, rest assured that I've reviewed the document and will submit it to the headmistress shortly, along with my own strong recommendations in favor of Ahmed's immediate and irrevocable expulsion from the Scholasticate. Wait, Father, we're not here in support of the petition, but rather to argue against it. We can't rightly expel Ahmed for a crime that the evidence, or lack thereof, suggests he did not even commit. Quite true, and yet it is not because I believe him guilty that I've chosen to move forward with this proposal. Then why? For too long has our church been corrupted by men and women who would see its foundation built upon sin instead of virtue. I mean to put an end to this vicious cycle. What are you saying? Vincent, Lay, there's something you must know. When I was young, I was taken under the wing of Father Tressois. It was by his good graces that I gained admission to the Scholasticate, not unlike yourselves. I devoted myself entirely to my studies that I might prove myself worthy of his kindness. My dedication was rewarded when I graduated at the top of my class, secured a prized position in the archives, alongside some of the Holy See's most esteemed individuals. It was there that I met the man who would become my closest friend and confidant. For 10 years, he had toiled in the sea's darkest recesses, working to see that the ugly truth of Ishgard's past would never see the light of day, till the day the burden grew too great to bear, and he took his own life. For years I was torn between grief and anger in not being able to save him from his fate. Fearing my anguish would consume me, I found succor in my religion. Day and night I pored over scripture, and soon I found myself back in these very halls, not as a student, but as a teacher. A tragic story indeed, and you have my condolences for your loss. But what does any of this have to do with Archambaddon? Of the furious love will all men receive, and by balance of her spear will all be set free. Doubtless you too are familiar with these words. Those who deny the teachings of Volume 11 commit the greatest sin of all, and must bear full responsibility for the injustices wrought on the victims of our society. Master Accusations has done naught but scorn the truths penned within the tome. His dismissal is long overdue. This is madness. Fear knows I bear no love for the Bastion, but what you propose is to lay the blame for generation upon generation of the Church's transgressions at his feet. I do only what must be done. Countless lives were lost in the Dragon Song War. Must needs purge the Church of any who expose the false ideals that all men are not born equal, that the sins of our past are never repeated, and that the clergy might be restored to their former glory. I have faith in you, my children. Reflect on the teachings of Father Chasa. If you do not understand now, you will soon enough. It's going all the way to the top. Oh boy. It is true that Father Chasa was an ardent advocate of equality who strove always to adhere to the principles espoused in equal under her ever-watchful gaze. It is equally true that Archiman has been outspoken in condemning that self-same passage. Still, that hardly warrants his expulsion. Must admit, the man has a point. An example of the son of one of Ishtar's most prominent houses would send a message. It just might be the fastest way to bring about the change he seeks. Whether or not that change would be for the better, however, is another matter entirely. It was one thing when it was just an angry mob of seminarians calling for Archiman's head, and that Father Saturnus intends to lead the charge. It's another matter entirely. Whatever are we to do? Speak with Archiman. I'm not entirely sure. We could try speaking to him, but like, is that really gonna help? To actually solve things. Again, it's our word against theirs. Get some more power behind Archiman. See if he has any ideas. But of course, Archiman's nothing if not astute. He's sure to have an idea or two on how to extricate himself in this predicament. Come, let's make for the pillars. Anything at this point, clearly. Combatant. Damn. It's right there. Corner. And Swan. Everybody. What baseless accusations would you care to hurl at me this time? Time to destroy the church? Perhaps you're here to bring to light the personal hand I had in instigating the Dragon Song War. Perhaps instead of entertaining every ridiculous rumor you hear, you may actually make yourself useful for once. You start by questioning those two beside you. After all, they're the ones who have arranged this entire farce and have been spreading these letters in a pathetically transparent attempt to incriminate me that I might be expelled. Letters? Please listen, Ahmed. We know that the accusations being leveled at you are unfounded. I know we've had our differences, but today we come to you to lend our aid. He's so full of rage, he can scarce hear a word I say. Please, Artik, perhaps you can try soothing him. Do you think that you would resort to such treachery to secure Themson's place as head of class? Enjoy your piddling triumph while you can. Rest assured that House Zemel will see this debt repaid. Calm down. Ha! Don't make me laugh. You expect me to believe that you, the two who would stand to gain the most from my expulsion, have not so much as seen the nonsense being making the rounds in the dormitories? What do we got here? The truth revealed, I'm a kidnapper. Trust me. Were we to try to implicate you for a crime you didn't commit, we have done a far more thorough job than this. Indeed, these writings simply make an appeal to emotion, not a single piece of concrete evidence to support the accusation. Fine, perhaps it wasn't you two after all. Still, you rest assured that when I get my hands on the commoner that did this, they'll rue the day they thought to meddle with the affairs of House Samuel. Yeah, about that. You best realize we commoners are not the ones on trial here. You are. So just about your tongue, unless you would prefer to lose the only allies you seem to have these days. Do not lose heart, men. Together we will uncover the truth and see that the baseless petition against you is withdrawn. Why do I need your help? My innocence is beyond question. The Fury herself will see my good name restored. Yeah, about that. I pray that she will. In the meantime, we too shall do our part. For your sake, Theo, leave it be. Aside, where did these papers even come from, and why didn't we receive one? If I had to guess, perhaps they were given only to those most inclined to believe the accusations. Foolishness at best. If anything, these letters will only give me the clues I need to identify the coward behind them. As a matter of fact, I believe I know precisely where to begin my search. Brilliant. I'm more than happy to assist you in your investigation. Where would you have us go? I hand you the very knife you would put in my back. Do you think me daft? The petition is approved and I'm expelled. That'll put you right at the top of the class. How very convenient. Oh, man, don't you see? It is not for words or accolades I study the scripture as I do. I seek only to follow in the footsteps of Father Toussaint. It was he who granted me the chance to achieve the grand vision he had for our realm and bring relief to those in need of spiritual succor. Of the fairy's love all men will receive, and by the balance of her spear, will all be set free. I would share the wisdom of these words with all of Ishgard. Volume 11 of the 17-2 Articles of Hellenic Polity. What's it with commoners and their obsession with that over-idealistic screed? Come, Harkonnen. Let's not waste any further time entertaining the idle musings of the riffraff. Look, we can manage just fine without your help. If you do find anything, not that we expect you to, report back to us if you know what's good for you, understood? If I didn't know better, I'd almost say that sounded like a thank you. Well, there's nothing else to do here, suppose we should get to work. But where? But how? Next on the deal, eh? Now, where do you propose we should start? The Fury save us. Indeed. Not a lot to go on here. Very frequently. Okay. Continuing. Need to find some kind of actual evidence. That'd be really, really helpful. Next time. Goodbye.